It's time to turn the conversation from tech to time and money. Let's talk about how to have the right conversations with the right business leaders at the right time. I'm Scott Campbell with the Global Technology Industry Association, and we are here at ASCII Edge in Costa Mesa, California, the first of 8 ASCII Edge events in 2026. And I'm going to be talking with Joe Rojas, the CEO of Start, Grow, Manage, about how to have the right conversations with your clients. Joe, it's great to be here.
It's great to be here with you. It's so much fun.
So let's talk a little bit about ASCII Edge. What are you hoping to see, hear, learn while you're here? No, by the way, are you going to be doing your presentation at all 8 events this year?
I will be at all 8 events this year, and we'll be having a great time. And what I'm hoping to learn is really what is the state of MSPs nationally, and what do they need? It's like to gain a real understanding of what's happening in the MSP space and what is it they need. But the real thing that I'm here for is to help people make that transition that you were talking about. I want to see people thrive and grow and live great lives. In the beginning, for me, it wasn't great as an MSP, and I want people to have great lives. And so that's why I'm here.
So you had a great presentation about unlocking hidden revenue within your current customer base, right? And certainly that's where the pot of gold is, right?
That's where it is. That's where the whole thing is. Yeah.
To get more money from your existing clients. So let's talk about how to do that. One of the things you talked about was you asked 6 questions to talk to your customer about. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about those. But also one of the things you mentioned I thought was kind of interesting was stop having QBRs. Now I could hear 2 or 3 other presentations that you need to have QBRs, right? So why do you think QBR, let's talk about that first. QBRs, and why should customers, they shouldn't not have them, but
let's talk about the difference between
them,
a QBR and an SBR. Right. I think that's where we'll start, right? So a QBR or a TBR, technical business review, is usually wires and pliers, speeds and feeds. It is all the like the ticket count, and here's all the things that we solved for you, and here's Sally's laptop, and nobody cares about that. That is, so that what ends up happening is that you get relegated to the lowest person, because the CEO doesn't see it as useful time for them. So what you want to do instead is you want to have strategic business reviews so that you could have the CEO in the room and you're having CEO level conversations. Yep. It's just a whole different, so it doesn't mean that you don't have meetings. It just means that you need to stop doing what is traditionally thought of in the MSP space as a QBR or TBR, technical business review. CEOs don't care about lifecycle management for the most part.
So that's to your point. You have to start talking the right language to the right people, right? And your first 2 questions that you put, I thought were really interesting. The first one was, what are you proud of, right? You ask your customers what they're proud of, and then the second question is, what do you regret, right? And I think that is a great a way to open the doors, to open the floodgates, to get the conversation moving, correct?
It is, right? And so it's 6 initial questions and then 1 more. So there's 7 questions in the framework. And when you're asking them temporally. And what I mean by that is that there is a time frame. The first 2 questions that you ask are about the past. Yep. What happened in the past, right? What are you proud of and what do you regret from this past year? And they're gonna tell you, they're just gonna open up the floodgates, like you said. This next set of questions is about right now. So do you want to talk about those?
Yep.
Good. So the next 2 questions that you really got to think about right now is like, what are you confident in right now?
Right.
And here's the thing. You're a business owner out there. How many people are you having that conversation with? Do you think it's any different for the other small business owners? They're not. When you ask them that question, you become a trusted partner. Right? Somebody who they're going to tell, oh, this is what I feel good about right now. They love talking about their business. If somebody asks you that question, you want to talk about your business. And then what do you lack? What's missing for you? And that's all about right now. And the next set of questions is about the future.
Yep.
And what are you thinking about in the future? So if you want, I can jump to those. Or
Well, actually, I want to move on a little bit because I really want to ask you, I haven't mentioned yet, you are a member, Joe is a member of our Workforce Advisory Council with GTIA. Okay. You guys do some amazing work on how to help and upskill and recruit and attract and retain tech workforce talent. In fact, you guys put out recently an ITSP workshop on how to define your core value and your
Yes.
missions and strategy. Can you talk a little bit about that? That is available, by the way, at gtia.org/resources for our GTIA members. Talk a little bit about that workshop and how that came about.
Well, the reason why that came about is because one of the biggest struggles that we see with MSPs when we first work with them is retention, is building that culture. And when I say, oh, let me look at your core values, right? They got the same 5 core. Like if I go look at the Dunder Mifflin, if I go look at their mission and values, it sounds almost exactly, it's like this corporate gobbledygook. It's not about why you do what you do, how you do it, and what is it that you do. And most importantly, who do you do it for? And so the mission needs to be about that. And the values need to be about the people that you want to retain in the organization. And you have to use those values to hire, to evaluate, and to eject people from the organization when they need to be ejected. And if you don't, what you end up with is people that, you've heard the saying, one rotten apple ruins a bunch. It happens, and then you keep wondering why.
Well, there's one thing you are not, it's a rotten apple. You are one of the best apples, I guess, available. And speaking of which, now, you are a proud member of GTIA. You're a proud member of ASCII.
All day, every day.
And we have, GTIA and ASCII are working on a great partnership. Carol in April is going to be doing some new AI research, debuting it at ASCII Edge, and she's going to be doing it at all 8 events this year. So we're really happy to work with ASCII together this year. But tell me a little bit about what does being a part of communities like GTIA and ASCII mean to you? What value do you get out of being part of our associations?
This is what I'll say first. The thing that inspires me and motivates me and I love about these 2 organizations is that they are about education. Real education, not fluff, not BS, but really things that you can actually do to move your business forward. We use Carolyn's research in our framework to figure things out. See, what we did in our organization is we took my hard-earned lessons as being an MSP, and I have 2 partners. They're not MSPs. They're MBAs. They're business MBAs. They've worked in Mercedes-Benz and all kinds of really cool companies. And we apply it, and the research that you get out of GTIA is real, like Gartner level research that can be used for you as an MSP to take your business to the next level. You have to start listening to what's happening. So the reason why I love being part of these 2 communities is because it's not about party, it's about education, and education plus action equals results. There's no way around that.
Well, speaking of education, I swear to God, Joe, I learn something from you every single time I talk to you. You are the best. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, and keep learning out there, and remember that you are loved.
Great. And I'm Scott Campbell for GTIA On Location. We're going to be here at ASCII Edge all week. Stay tuned for more content, more videos, and we'll see you on the road.
See you soon.